in your practice, what do you see as the thorniest issues for the extended family in, following a divorce, and particularly, and not only between the couples themselves and how conflict continues and interferes with their lives, but within the extended family of a gray divorce?
Well, as you know, my thing is stepfamilies, and what I find is that older couples are often thrilled to have found each other, and the belief is the dog is dead, the kids are out of the house, it's just us. Mm-hmm. Fabulous. Except it turns out it's not just us. The kids may be grown and out of the house, however, there are all these deep connections. Mm-hmm. And how do they talk about it? You know, they go to Thanksgiving at Jane's house, or Jane's sister's house. This is a Thanksgiving that has taken place over many, many, many decades with the same people, with new kids being added. Tom is the outsider. Jane is the insider. So there is a stuck insider and a stuck outsider, just like in younger step families. Mm-hmm. And in an older recoupling, you know, Jane's brother was very close to her ex-husband. And Jane's brother is having a really hard time bringing Tom into the family. And he doesn't speak to him the whole Thanksgiving, and neither does Jane's brother's wife. So they come home at night, and if this goes well, after Jane's daughter has been there or they've been at a family event, Tom is able to say, "That was tough, honey, can we talk?" And Jane is able to be open-hearted. But much more easy for Tom to say, "Your daughter is way too needy, your brother is rude." Mm-hmm. You know, in the best of all possible worlds, if Jane could hire a saint, she might be able to take a breath and say, "Woo, baby, let's start this again." But how easy for her to say, "What is your problem?" "It's my daughter." Mm-hmm. "It's my brother. Of course he's having a hard time. He was really close to my ex-husband." And now they're bickering. Bickering, withdrawing, and that's how they come to me. Bickering, withdrawing.
And so where do you pick up on this? So
what do we do?
Yeah, what do you do?
The first thing is just to hold the disappointment. You know, you were so looking for. You know, you're clearly found each other. You love each other. You both had hard, long marriages. Mm-hmm. This is so disappointing. Mm. Am I right? And they both take a little bit of a breath. Uh-huh. If I'm lucky, I can get them to turn to each other and share a little with each other. And they need a map. You know, turns out, you guys, your kids are grown, but you're in a step family. And this stuff that's happening is because you're in a step family. One of you is always a stuck insider, and one of you is always a stuck outsider. Sound familiar? Mm-hmm. Sometimes just that language is so helpful. So helpful. And then...
And what's helpful about the language? How do people respond?
Well, what I would say is, does that sound familiar? Yes. What's that like to hear? A relief. A relief for some, sad for others, you know. That's why I always ask, what's that like to hear? So Jane is relieved. We're not messing up. This marriage is not, you know, doomed. And Tom is disappointed. You know, it's not what I wanted. It's so hard. It's so much harder than I thought. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to say to Tom, would it be okay to tell Jane about that? Because now he's speaking for the pain. Instead of saying your daughter was rude, he's saying this is hard. This is hard. Mm-hmm. And my job is to help them engage over this. And it's a terribly big difference at the beginning of a new relationship. And I do something I call joining. It's very simple, very powerful, but I do it over and over and over again. I say to Tom, can you give Jane just a sentence or two of what you most want her to know? And I'm trying to pull him into the affect underneath those nasty words. And he says, honey, it's just so hard. Mm-hmm. I feel I'm left out. Everywhere I turn, I'm left out. Jane says, but... And I put up my time outside and say, Jane, I'm going to help you with this. Here's what I want you to do. Take a breath. I know you love this man. take a breath, Jane, and see if you can find the place inside where you do understand what Tom is saying. Not what you agree with, but what you do understand. Slow, step by step by step. A lot of it is nonverbal. I'm watching for when there starts to be a little bit of relaxation. It's creating that very regulating sense of feeling felt across a difference. If I'm lucky and that takes, then at some point I can say, take a moment, guys. Notice that you're very connected. And you didn't get that way by feeling the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You got that way by really slowing down and hearing each other.
Mm-hmm.